What's up, guys? We got another god-dang video for you.
We got the Land Man. What are you doing, Land?
Putting this little...
Turning it into a Street Fighter right now. New VFR 800 Street Fighter. So today, we're going to install a Puig touring screen on the Interceptor VFR 800. Here we have our stock windscreen. Does this do much good for you, Land?
A little bit?
When you're blasted down the freeway picking up hose?
Oh.
What does this windscreen do for you?
Not much.
Not much.
No,
Okay.
not much.
So something interesting about this, we're not quite sure how this all comes apart, and there's not much online other than some schematics. So this is going to be sort of figure out as we go. And still wrenching. Now, all done. Nice sexy tail cover on there. And off to the windscreen. We went with the touring windscreen. Why, Landon?
Because we do long rides.
Yeah, and that's what I bought them, so that's also why. So there's two interior screws. Just taking an Allen key to them. Careful. All right. We've already removed this screw over here. So, what's coming loose? Oh, something's out. Just be gentle on them plastics. It appears to me that there's press tabs or something that holds this whole section in. Hey, look at that. So, explain what you're doing.
I'm wiggling.
You want to gently wiggle. Don't pull too hard in one spot. It's always the same on bikes that have plastics. You could snap one, and that'd probably be, I don't know what, $400 mistake for a little piece of plastic. So, and just doing the wiggle till you feel those tabs pop out. Just like taking the sides off of a sport bike. Like our Busa that I destroyed one of the plastics on, right?
And if you think the hard part is taking these off, wait till you get to put it back on.
It's always a little harder when they've never been taken apart too. There we go. Now we're blasting some ass. We can see where our mirror goes on now. And
Where the... I can see where the windshield goes on too.
look at that. Okay. So does that thing come off now freely or?
Oh, not yet.
Okay. Boy.
There's still ways to...
Good thing they made this just a simple, you know. Ooh, is it okay?
Yeah.
It always scares me when that shit comes off. So let's take a look at that thing. So the entire inner front dash cover, top cover, comes out, connected to your side cowls or whatever that you want to call those, right? And it's a pain in the you know what. Okay, next. What we got going on?
Okay, so it looks like the windshield is going to be attached. So it's attached to this plastic piece right here, this black one, and that is attached to the red piece in the front with 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. 2 of them being.
Is this not the screw here?
Yeah, that's one.
Is there one in the back?
And then there's one right there, way in the back. It's a Phillips.
Okay.
So I don't know how I'm gonna. Or no, wait. I don't think we have to pull.
Maybe
the windshield is just by these Allens right here. So.
Just careful not to drop a. You know what? So he's wrenching away on the inside of the windscreen. And these screws hold the windscreen to this top plastic, this black piece of plastic. One down.
Rubber stopper and all.
Maybe you should just leave it off, and that's just weight reduction, bro. I mean, you've already got the windscreen off, so maybe you're Street Fighter, right? Maybe it is happening. Look at that, it's out. That was a fairly invasive windshield removal, I would say, as compared to the ZX14. No one likes taking off things that could just snap instantly, so... Okay, so we have no windscreen. Let's take a look and see what's... Actually, not that bad looking. Explain to the folks at home what you're doing.
I'm wiping all the dirt off. It gets dirty.
What impact does that have on racing?
So much, because, you know, like the dirt can just fly off and hit you in the face with your helmet on and everything, you know? Like a little bit of dirt never hurt nobody.
Explain to the folks about wind reduction.
Wind reduction is super important, you know? You got to make sure you get all your horsepower out of, you know.
How much horsepower did you just add by shining the tank?
Oh, man, at least 2.
Sweet.
At least 2.
Well, I know once the VTEC kicks in.
Oh, my God. When a VTEC kicks in, you're done for.
Huge. Let's see how the fitment is. Oh, right in, huh?
Yeah, super easy. You gotta press it in just a little bit, but other than that,
So press in on the side just to get to slide into the...
just so you gotta bring it in a little bit, so it has tension right now.
Tensions. Oh, Landon.
What?
So these are the screws that go right into the windscreen, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Allen key screws.
Yes. I'm just trying to find the hole.
What is the deal with every bike having a terrible windscreen from the factory?
So I can rip this off and make it more expensive one.
So price of this windscreen, roughly 100 to 115, somewhere in that range. I think it's always worth taking a look at upgrading your windscreen.
Gotta get those upgrades.
That's right.
Upgrades? Got the first one in, only the screw was loose.
One of the things I like about these big windscreens is that it kind of makes the bike look a little dorky. I mean, it's a nice windscreen, right? But you don't stand out like a traffic outlaw quite as bad, you know. You look like a pragmatic person.
I want to go fast, but I don't want the wind to be on my face.
What are we doing now? Other screw?
Trying to get the other screw in. You gotta line the holes up and, you know.
So there's only 2 screws that hold this in?
Yes.
It's interesting because this windscreen must fit several bikes. It's got other screw holes in it. Well, we've got
I'll leave that.
dropped part here. Oh, I hate those things. This is some kind of grommet. Oh no. The grommet is back in. What's going on? Screw won't go back in?
Just trying to line up the windshield still with the correct hole.
So while he's putting that screw back in, which I think he just got, I just want to recap what's happened. So you got to take the inner fairing out, the top portion. It'll be connected to the sides. Once that's out, you'll have access to 2 screws on the left and right. They'll be vertically positioned. And that's it. Even though this windscreen has 2 other screw points, this setup does not require that. So, or maybe it does, and we were supposed to take the whole thing off. We'll find out. So now just putting in the inner cowl. Again, we got the 2 screws holding the windscreen in, and this is all snap-in plastic. So my guess is you would start middle, right, and work your way out, just like you did reverse. Middle in, and it's just going to be a whole lot of shimmying, and just like all the sort of Japanese sport bikes. This is not really a sport bike, I guess. Kind of looks like a sport bike. Sort of rides like a commuter. Sit more upright. What would you say, Land?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You have quite large risers on the handlebars, so I've got Healy bars on the ZX, and this is much higher, even with the, risers on that. Uh-oh. That's on the outside, you dangus.
Dangus.
Okay. So, and usually with these Hondas, as with the Goldwing that I had, these will start to come off easier over time when you start doing maintenance where these have to come off. Just take your time, because Japanese plastic is expensive. I guess. Alright, one side's in. Just needs the screws, huh?
Yeah.
Are both sides in?
Both sides are in.
Excellent. Look at that. Much easier than I originally thought this was going to be. And with just however many easy steps that was, I'll put a big number on there so it gets a bunch of hits. Like, that's the trick, I guess. 7 easy steps to putting on a touring windscreen. You have yourself a finished product. Looks pretty good. I mean, touring windscreens are kind of goofy sometimes. And there he goes. Hold on for the VTEC. There it goes. Now, if you're racing inspired,
Oh my god.
and you hate the wind with a passion, I'd like to introduce the Puig touring windscreen. However, there's only one way to combat the wind, and that is double windscreens.
Oh my god.
Explain to the folks.
Okay, so you see this tape right here? That's so that, it's a little extra wind protection,
So, Landman, good or bad?
It's good. I like it. It's pretty high too, so like it sits real high. So it's real easy, just tuck your head down there, especially when you go super fast.
Where does the wind hit you when you're sitting upright riding?
When I'm sitting upright riding, it probably hits me like at the top of my head. Like I don't even feel it. Like the only time I feel it is if I'm like leaning way outside of it. So I mean, honestly, the wind goes above my head.
So what is the bads?
The only bad thing that I can think about is like some people, just with the look, like the portion size of it, because it does stick out pretty far versus, like, as you can see, like the smaller one would be way down here, but other than that, it's a good helmet. It's a
Helmet.
good windshield. Keeps the wind off your helmet.
So here's the moment of truth. Would you spend your own money on this upgrade?
Yes, I would. Yeah, I think it's important to have it because it helps with the wind. Especially with turning and stuff like that. Because with the other one before, I noticed the wind would hit me as soon as I turned. So as soon as I turned my head left to right, you're getting wind straight into the face. So it's nice to have the windshield there.
Awesome. Say bye-bye.
Bye.